Ladies and gentlemen of the board, thank you for the opportunity to present this presentation to you on BYOD. At a recent conference I attended as part of my CIO role, we had a technology seminar on BYOD, and I believe it has benefits in our organisation for both staff as well as the company. Okay, I want to run through a introductory slide. What's the purpose of the presentation? What is BYOD? What does it mean for Hind Timber? The pros and the cons. I also want to run through a business case with some variation scenarios included, and also the conclusion. Okay, the purpose of this presentation is to describe both the pros and the cons to introducing this variant into the company. I want to give you, the board members, the opportunity to allow the company to embark on this project. And I also want to provide you, the board, with a strong business case to support this project. What is BYOD? It simply means allowing employees to bring their own laptops, smartphones, and tablets and use these devices to access the company network and information, including emails and pronto. What does it mean for Hind? Productivity increases, cost savings, over-the-air configuration, BYOD policy requirement, security issues, data loss, access software, which I will go through in further detail now. The pros. Employee productivity. I believe with increased access to employee emails and company information, through more time with the device. Through travelling, they'll have access while they're travelling, and also outside of work hours, they'll still have access to emails and company information. Increased employee morale. This will primarily be driven because they will enjoy using the device. If they own a device, they own it because they enjoy using it, and which also leads to increased morale. Lower ISD costs for the company. Devices are purchased by the employees and they remain the employees' responsibilities. If employees wish to upgrade their devices at any time, that will be at their own cost, similar to what the initial purchase is. Over-the-air setup to reduce help desk assistance requirements. We need to ensure that we have a over-the-air setup system set up on one of the web pages, so that the whole setup process can be completed with minimal or no help desk assistance. Data charges outside the company are primarily paid by employees, reducing company data usage. This simply means that if they're working from home, most employees have a ADSL broadband connection, and as part of that, any data usage accessing Hind from externally would be a total responsibility of the employee. Cons. Security, obviously a big one. Antivirus and malware application. We need to ensure that as part of the rollout that everyone has the same antivirus and malware application, which the company will need to purchase to ensure that everyone within the company and the company themselves are protected to a similar level. Data loss. We need to ensure that we have a regimented backup system to ensure that we don't incur data loss from a lost device or corrupted hard drive, or whatever the case may be. Company intellectual property control. We need to make sure that we control our intellectual property. Any of the in-house software programs that we utilise and have been developed within the in-house, we need to make sure that these don't become available to the wider community. And once again, that's all part of the security process. Loss of total control of the device. The one thing that this BYOD does allow for is that we don't have total control of the device, and we can't control everything that an employee puts on the device, which may introduce the risk of malware being introduced from suspect applications. Policy required. We need to ensure we have a firm BYOD policy. This will require involvement from several departments, from HR to ISD to the legal team, to ensure that we have everything, all our ducks in a row, to make sure that's successful. We also need to ensure that we have our mobile device access software. So that's an increased cost because there will be more people accessing from mobile devices. So once again, we need to be aware of that. The business case that I'm putting forward here today, you'll see there that the total capital expenditure over the 6 years in this business case is 63 million. Total benefits and revenue is 75. So if you're looking at normal cash rate, it's a 12 million. But if you're looking at the discounted cash rate, that dropped back down to 1.5. Total discounted payback is within 5 years and 10 months. As I said before, this is really a long-term plan for the company. So as long as our short-term cash flow can sustain this expenditure, I believe the long-term gains are definitely there for the company. Scenarios. You'll see there in the base scenario, profitability index of 1.15, payback within 5 years, 10 months. Scenario 1, we're expecting insurance saving of 21 million. If that doesn't come to fruition, I've taken the whole of that saving out. That drops our discounted payback out to 10 years and 1 month. So profitability index drops right down. Scenario 2, if we can realise more capital savings than what I've built into the project, because the capital savings that I have in the project are fairly conservative. So as a result of lower hardware costs and that, I believe we should be able to surpass that. But if we can save another $6 million in our hardware costs, that then drops our discounted payback back to 5 years and 3 months. Scenario 3, if this one here, if we can get our policy implemented cheaper than what I've budgeted for, another 5 million, which gives us a total savings of 11 million, I believe, which I believe could be achievable. That brings our discounted payback back to 4 years, 10 months. Conclusion. BYOD for the business is good business. I believe this is beneficial for the business, and I believe this is a good project for the company. As I said before, the outlay of 10 million initial to a total of 63 million over 6 years, to give a total expenditure reduction of 75 million over the same period, which gives us a savings of $12 million. Now, while the payback period is over 5 years, the long-term benefits are realisable for the company. So once, as I said before, as long as our short-term cash flow can sustain that, I believe this is good. Short-term detriment, as I said, for the long-term gain. BYOD will increase employee morale, and BYOD will increase employee productivity. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time for this presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and I'll only be too happy to run through further scenarios if required. Thank you very much. Lessons I've learned through this project. I've learned a lot more than I previously did on BYOD, both the pitfalls and the benefits, which I will definitely take forward in my career. Making a business case, a case study, has also given me a bit of an understanding of the business case building, and the research I had to do will definitely assist me in my further studies. PowerPoint tips. I believe I never used to link spreadsheets to the PowerPoint, but I wanted this presentation to be dynamic because I hadn't finalised how I was going to present my spreadsheet at that time. So I did some research on that, and I will definitely be using that in the future. Also, referencing. This is the first time I've had to utilise referencing, and it has been a learning experience with some difficulties. The Communication Skills Handbook doesn't spend a lot of time on this subject, which in this day of age, and with the prolific use of the internet for research, I would have thought would have been a larger segment of the text with more examples. Because there wasn't very many examples, I also had to look at some other Australian websites on Harvard referencing, and these examples differed from what was in the handbook. So once again, very confusing. I believe going forward, the uni needs to probably focus a little bit more on internet referencing, because going forward, I believe more and more referencing is going to be via the internet. List of references, as you can see there, many and varied, from slideshows to YouTube clips to white papers. So hopefully everything's sweet there. All right, thank you very much for your time.